There are many ways to play video games, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 hacked video games that have added trackball and mouse support. I love these games that you grow up with, and then someone hacks them to add additional support. I know there's fans of trackball, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 games that you can find online as well as purchase on physical cart in the AtariAge store. Some of these are timeless classics. Others are games that I don't have a lot of experience with. So some of these games are new for me to play. So sit back, relax. I hope you enjoy this video. There are many trackballs for the 2600, and the one I'm going to be using today and what's supported with these games is the CX80. There's also the Atari trackball CX22. I have that, but I'm using this one as I have a box version of that. So those are the two trackballs supported. You also can play these hacks with an Amiga mouse, shown here, as well as an Atari ST mouse, shown there. And so I'm going to be playing these with the trackball, and I'm playing these using a Harmony Encore multi-cart as well as a modified Atari 7800 modded by Ivory Tower Collections. So I'm going to be playing on original hardware. Here we go. You can't talk about trackball games without mentioning the classic Centipede, and this plays so much better with the modified control. You might have grown up with this in the arcades, and for some people that's the only way they're going to play this game is with the trackball. I do like the 2600 port. I do think it's a good home version of this game, but with the modified trackball control, it is so much better. You can spin that ball and move your character around, and you can get some better scores. I did, and I think this is a better way of playing it. For sure, of the games shown today, this is one that you probably remember playing, at least some form. I highly recommend checking it out. You can go on the AtariAge forums to check out the discussion about these modified trackball games. This next one is Challenge of the Nexar, and you are caught in a warp, and you have to destroy these box-like structures called radioactive beacons, and they're being defended by exploding saucers. And so I really think that the trackball support makes this a much better game. This is not the best game, but I think it's a lot of fun going back and playing some of these with very different control, as it's a complete, unique experience. And so this is one that, I didn't grow up and play. So this is one I discovered way later in my collecting cycle. And so here it is. And I do think it is a better game with the control. Definitely check it out. This next game is an arcade port, and it is a homebrew for the 2600, and it's offered in original control and trackball in the AtariAge store. And this is Colony 7, an early Taito arcade game, and it's kind of a cross between Missile Command and Space Invaders. It actually was an inspiration for the 2600 game Atlantis. So it's really cool to see that, as well as the additional trackball support. The enemies are sped up in this version. There is more difficulty levels in this version. I do think it plays better. It has automatic fire built in, and then you use your Mega Blaster when you hit the fire button on your trackball. So this is pretty awesome. I haven't played this a lot, haven't played the arcade game a lot, so it was nice to see this arcade port with this modified control. This next game is one of my all-time favorites on the 2600, and with the additional trackball support, this makes this a 10. Now, you're still going to die. This still is a challenging game. The intensity of this game is just what I love. This is one of my favorite arcade ports to the Atari 2600, and I have to say, oh my goodness, playing it with the trackball control is just on a whole other level. It takes me back to the arcades, and I really enjoyed what they did here. And this, of all the trackball games I'm showing today, this is probably my personal favorite, as I'm just a big fan of Millipede in general, and the home version is just excellent. Adding that trackball control just makes it so much better to play, and one I highly recommend playing. Another memorable classic of the series that I'm showing is Missile Command. And you know, the home version on the 2600 was excellent. Add Trak-Ball support, even better. Even though this is a scaled down version of the arcade, I still think it's amazing. And you know, you throw in that Trak-Ball support. You also can play these, by the way, with the mouse, as I mentioned earlier in the video. But for me, it's all about the Trak-Ball. You know, just playing these, it was just so fun to go back and play this the way it should have been made originally, and I was just having a blast. And so each of these games, by the way, on physical cart is available in the AtariAge store for 25 bucks, or search online to play the ROM, and either way, you're going to enjoy this version of Missile Command. Another game that I do not have a lot of experience playing, and I do believe this was a PAL release originally, is Missile Control. And I really like that they've added the additional control options for this game. Now, just a heads up, playing these games with the Trak-Ball, you cannot use a joystick on any of these modified versions. So I want to make that clear. But what's cool about this, you got to take out these enemies, but you have these missiles being launched on the left and right. And you can shoot at them and deflect off of them to take out the enemies. It's really kind of a cool additional aspect. As a longtime 2600 fan, it was nice to go and have a fresh game to check out and enjoy playing a unique way. Activision had some of the best 2600 games, and take this classic Plaque Attack and modify it with Trak-Ball control, and it makes it an amazing experience. I didn't play this game a ton, but you know, going back and playing it this way, I don't know if I'd want to play it any other way. It's awesome. Wave after wave of junk food. Controlling a tube of toothpaste, you are taking out these junk food enemies and sweets. And if they connect with a tooth, eventually the tooth will be removed. You do get some bonus teeth after hitting so much of a score. This is a fun one, and one that was originally made to promote dental hygiene by Steve Cartwright. A classic made even better. This next one I recommend playing several games to get used to, and if you haven't played it, Reactor is a good game. Some people don't understand what's going on, but if you give this one a try, I think you're going to enjoy it. With the Trak-Ball support, it's even better. And you are a ship trapped inside the heart of a nuclear reactor, and your goal is to take out nuclear particles and have them ricochet off you and hit control rods. And there's lots to this game. I recommend checking it out and reading the manual if you can find it online. This is great with Trak-Ball support. You're going to love or hate this game typically. I recommend giving it a try, as I know many people have recommended this game to check out, and I thank you. This next game is kind of a cross between Star Castle and Yar's Revenge, with maybe a little bit of Reactor, but I really enjoyed this game. I didn't play it a ton growing up. I knew about it. This was originally released by 20th Century Fox, and with the Trak-Ball control, it is a very different game to play. And once I figured out the control, it's been a while since I played this, I really enjoyed it. And this is another one that many of you may have not checked out, but with that additional modified control, this is a lot of fun, and I think it makes it a much better game. I think the original release was, for me, probably an average game, but with this way of playing it, this is by far kind of the one of the ones shown today, one I'll probably go back and play some more. Have you played this game? What do you think of it? I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and when I saw that there was Trak-Ball support to the original Star Wars Arcade home port on the 2600, I was really excited, because the one thing, I didn't like the original control of the 2600 port. It looks great, but that control wasn't my favorite. Now you can play it a completely unique way, and I'm happy to report that it works great. If you haven't played this home port of the arcade classic, it's pretty good for 2600 standards, and I really enjoyed it. It has many of the elements from the arcade, even has a trench run here, and you know, the Death Star explodes onto the next level. A great new way to play a home classic. So of the 10 games that I shared with you today, what is your favorite? Do you remember playing any of these growing up? And if you want to check them out for yourself, you can go online to the AtariAge forums. There is a link to where there's a discussion about these games, as well as the games you can download and check out yourself. If you want to get it on physical, there is a link to the AtariAge store where you can check these out for yourself to play on your 2600 or 7800. I want to thank everybody for coming to my channel. I upload videos every week, so if you like what you see, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and let's keep it positive. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you have a great day.